If you're a beginner and want to build up your Italian vocabulary, you definitely need to know the most common Italian verbs to boost your speaking and writing skills. In this video, I'll show you some of the most common Italian verbs that are commonly used by native speakers and that you can start using straight away. And you can even adapt them to use in various situations. Pronti? Ready? Cominciamo. Let's get started. Ciao ciao, mi chiamo Michelle, sono la Intrepid Guide, la vostra guida per imparare l'italiano, per viaggiare o per entrare in contatto con le vostre origini italiane come me, attraverso il mio metodo originale 80-20. Hi, my name is Michelle, I'm the Intrepid Guide, your guide to learning Italian for travel or to connect with your Italian heritage like I did, all by using my unique 80-20 method. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click on the bell notification so you get an alert when I post more videos like this one. If you're learning Italian, make sure you download my free guide, 7 mistakes in Italian and how to avoid them. Just click on the link in the description below and I'll send you your free guide. In Italian, a conjugated verb gives us many pieces of information, such as the person and the tense. That's why personal pronouns such as I, you, she, he are generally left out, as in the examples you'll see in this video, and only used when you want to emphasize them. If you need to brush up on your verb conjugation, just check out the link I've shared in the description below. Now let's take a look at 24 super powerful Italian verbs.
Essere,
to be,
avere,
to have,
fare,
to do, to make,
andare,
to go,
stare,
to be, to stay,
parlare,
to speak, to talk,
dare,
to give,
guardare,
to look at,
lavare,
to wash,
abitare,
to live, to reside,
prendere,
to take, grab, have, catch, get,
potere,
can, may, be able to,
volere,
to want,
dovere,
must, have to, owe,
sapere,
to know, be aware of,
conoscere,
to know, be acquainted with,
vedere,
to see,
mettere,
to put,
uscire,
to exit, to go out,
dire,
to say, to tell,
capire,
to understand,
sentire,
to hear, feel, smell, taste,
venire,
to come,
finire.
to end, finish.
Now let's take a closer look at each verb. Conjugations of essere and avere. Here is how we conjugate the two auxiliary verbs in Italian. That is, essere, to be, and avere, to have. They're called auxiliary verbs because they work as helpers in building compound tenses in Italian, such as passato prossimo, which is the past tense. Number 1, essere, to be. The verb essere is a fundamental verb in every language. In Italian, you can use the verb essere to say your name. For example, sono Giovanna, I'm Giovanna. To express how you feel, sono stanca, I'm tired. To describe yourself, sono alta, I'm tall. Or to describe something, questo piatto è buonissimo, this dish is delicious, among other things. In the present tense, essere is conjugated as follows.
Io sono. Tu sei. Lui, lei è. Noi siamo. Voi siete. Loro sono.
Here are some examples.
I signori Jones sono inglesi.
Mr. and Mrs. Jones are English.
Lo scorso weekend sono stato al mare.
Last weekend I was at the beach.
Number 2, avere, to have. The verb avere indicates possession and together with essere has a special and irregular conjugation. Knowing how to conjugate essere and avere in the present tense is essential to be able to form the past tense in Italian and is, therefore, a shortcut that will speed up your learning process.
Io ho. Tu hai. Lui, lei ha. Noi abbiamo. Voi avete. Loro hanno.
Attenzione, to say one's age, Italian uses the verb to have, not to be. Here's an example.
Quanti anni hai?
How old are you? Literally, how many years do you have?
Mia sorella e suo marito hanno avuto un bambino.
My sister and her husband have just had a baby.
Italian ARE verbs. Now let's take a look at some of the most common Italian verbs that belong to the first conjugation. That is, verbs that form the infinite form that end in are. Remember, a verb in the infinitive is the full unconjugated verb. We don't know who is doing the action. For example, mangiare, to eat, andare, to go. Most Italian verbs belong to the are group, including neologisms and verbs derived from other languages such as English. You can find many examples related to technology. For example,
cliccare,
to click,
taggare,
to tag,
postare,
to post,
twittare,
to tweet, just to name a few. Number 3, fare, to do or to make. Fare is certainly one of the most versatile verbs in Italian. It's used quite often in collocations. For example,
fare colazione,
To have breakfast.
fare fotografie,
To take photos.
fare la doccia,
To take a shower.
fare una domanda.
To ask a question.
Oggi fa caldo.
It's hot today.
Faccio l'insegnante.
I'm a teacher.
fare follows an irregular conjugation. Here it is in the present tense.
Io faccio. Tu fai. Lui, lei fa. Noi facciamo. Voi fate. Loro fanno.
Here are some examples.
Giulio fa l'avvocato.
Giulio is a lawyer.
Abbiamo fatto una torta per il compleanno della mamma.
We made a cake for Mum's birthday.
Number 4, andare, to go. Just like fare, andare has an irregular conjugation that needs to be learned by heart, as this verb is also frequently used in everyday conversational Italian, normally in combination with a preposition. For example,
Andare al cinema.
To go to the cinema.
Andare a teatro.
To go to the theatre.
Andare in banca.
To go to the bank.
here is how andare is conjugated in the present tense.
Io vado. Tu vai. Lui, lei va. Noi andiamo. Voi andate. Loro vanno.
Here are some examples.
Dove andate?
Where are you all going?
L'anno scorso sono andata in Grecia.
Last year I went to Greece.
Number 5, stare, to be or to stay. Knowing the conjugation of the verb stare is a must for anyone serious about learning Italian. The verb stare is used in the most classical form of conversation exchange. That is, when asking, how are you? In informal Italian, it's come stai? Apart from describing health and your state of being, stare is also widely used to describe appearance. For example,
Questi jeans ti stanno bene.
These jeans look good on you. And idiomatic expressions. For example,
Stare in piedi.
to be standing.
here is its conjugation in the present tense.
Io sto. Tu stai. Lui, lei sta. Noi stiamo. Voi state. Loro stanno.
Here are some examples.
Fabio sta male. Ha la febbre.
Fabio is not feeling well. He has a fever.
La stanza era piena. Siamo stati in piedi per tutta la sera.
The room was full. We were on our feet the whole night.
Number 6, parlare, to speak or to talk. Parli italiano? Do you speak Italian? The next Italian verb you'll need to learn translates from the English verb to talk or to speak, and therefore it fits a variety of contexts. Parlare is one of the first verbs you'll learn, and at the beginning you'll typically need it to tell someone what language or languages you speak, or more importantly, to ask people to speak slower or more clearly to help you understand. Unlike the verbs you've seen so far, its conjugation in the present tense is regular, meaning it follows a predictable pattern. Here is its conjugation.
Io parlo. Tu parli. Lui, lei parla. Noi parliamo. Voi parlate. Loro parlano.
Here are some examples.
Nina parla 4 lingue: inglese, russo, francese e italiano.
Nina speaks 4 languages: English, Russian, French, and Italian.
A cena abbiamo parlato di tante cose.
At dinner, we talked about many topics.
Dare, to give. This short but meaningful verb is very often used in combination with I pronomi, pronouns. That is, little words that tell us what or whom we are giving something. You can also find the verb dare in idiomatic expressions such as dare una mano, to give a hand. Here is dare in the present tense.
Io do. Tu dai. Lui, lei dà. Noi diamo. Voi date. Loro danno.
Here are some examples.
Mi dai una mano, per favore?
Can you please give me a hand?
Abbiamo dato questi soldi in beneficenza.
We gave this money to charity.
Number 8, guardare, to watch or to look at. The next verb we're going to look at is in fact to look at, guardare. This verb comes in handy when talking about hobbies and leisure time, and it's used to form common phrases such as
Guardare la TV.
Watching TV.
Guardare un film, uno spettacolo.
Watching a film or a show.
like parlare, the conjugation of guardare is fully regular. Here it is in the present tense.
Io guardo. Tu guardi. Lui, lei guarda. Noi guardiamo. Voi guardate. Loro guardano.
Here are some examples.
Stasera guardiamo un film.
Tonight we're watching a film.
Mi ha guardato sorridendo.
She looked at me smiling.
Number 9, lavare, to wash. The verb lavare can be translated with to wash. However, its use is much wider when it becomes reflexive, that is, lavarsi. Adding the pronoun si at the end of the infinitive verb form means that the action described by this verb reflects directly on the subject, hence the definition. Now, you'll find yourself using this verb a lot when talking about your daily routine. Now, here is the conjugation of lavare.
Io mi lavo. Tu ti lavi. Lui, lei si lava. Noi ci laviamo. Voi vi lavate. Loro si lavano.
Here are some examples.
Mi lavo i denti prima di andare a dormire.
I brush my teeth before going to bed.
Ieri ho lavato la macchina.
I washed the car yesterday.
Number 10, abitare, to live or to reside. When meeting someone for the first time, one of the questions you'll probably ask or will be asked is, Dove abiti? Where do you live? Now use abitare when you want to ask or talk about the country, city or place where you live. Here is its conjugation in the present tense, which is fully regular.
Io abito. Tu abiti. Lui, lei abita. Noi abitiamo. Voi abitate. Loro abitano.
Here are some examples.
I miei nonni abitano a Napoli.
My grandparents live in Naples.
Abbiamo abitato a Roma per 5 anni.
We lived in Rome for 5 years.
Italian ERE verbs. Now let's take a look at some of the most common Italian verbs that are in the ERE verb family. Number 11, prendere, to take, grab, have, catch or get. Prendere is by far one of the most versatile verbs of the Italian language. It's not easy to find a single translation to this verb in English, as its meaning changes a lot depending on the context. Here are some examples. When ordering food or something at a bar or restaurant, you might say,
Prendo gli gnocchi.
I'll have the gnocchi.
when grabbing or picking up something, you might say,
Prendi questo libro.
Grab this book.
when catching a means of transport, you might say,
Prendiamo il treno o il bus?
Shall we catch the train or the bus?
when forming collocations, you might say,
È difficile prendere decisioni.
Making decisions is hard.
or if you catch an illness or disease, you might say,
Ho preso il raffreddore.
I caught a cold.
and so many more examples. Here is the conjugation of prendere, which is fully regular.
Io prendo. Tu prendi. Lui, lei prende. Noi prendiamo. Voi prendete. Loro prendono.
Here are some examples.
Prendiamo un caffè?
Shall we get a coffee?
Non ho ancora preso una decisione.
I haven't made a decision yet.
Number 12. Potere, can, may, be able to. The next verb we're going to look at is really potente, powerful. It's no coincidence that potere and potente have the same root. As a matter of fact, this verb enables you to say what you can or are able to do. It's also used as a form of courtesy to ask permission to have or do something. For example,
Posso usare il bagno?
may I use the bathroom? As a modal verb, potere is often used in combination with other verbs, just like in English. Here is its conjugation in the present tense.
Io posso. Tu puoi. Lui, lei può. Noi possiamo. Voi potete. Loro possono.
Here are some examples.
Non posso uscire. Devo lavorare.
I can't go out. I have to work.
Non abbiamo potuto fare nulla.
We couldn't do anything.
Number 13, volere, to want. Being a modal verb too, volere functions much like potere, and it's usually followed by an infinitive verb. For example,
Voglio andare in vacanza.
I want to go on holiday. Or it can be used on its own and followed by a noun. For example,
Voglio una spiegazione.
I want an explanation. We also use volere plus the pronoun ci as a so-called pronominal verb to express how long something takes. For example,
Ci vogliono 2 ore per arrivare a Milano.
it takes 2 hours to get to Milan. Its irregular conjugation in the present tense goes like this.
Io voglio. Tu vuoi. Lui, lei vuole. Noi vogliamo. Voi volete. Loro vogliono.
Here are some examples using volere.
I bambini non vogliono dormire.
The children don't want to sleep.
Ho voluto parlare con lui prima di uscire.
I wanted to talk to him before going out.
Number 14, dovere, must, have to or owe. The third modal verb is dovere, which expresses a necessity or obligation. If followed by another verb, it takes the meaning of must or have to. And if followed by a noun, it means to owe, as in,
Ti devo un favore.
I owe you one. The conjugation of dovere is one that needs to be learned by heart, as it is irregular. Here it is in the present tense.
Io devo. Tu devi. Lui, lei deve. Noi dobbiamo. Voi dovete. Loro devono.
Here are some examples.
Devo dirti una cosa.
I have something to tell you.
Siamo dovuti partire presto.
We had to leave early.
Number 15, sapere, to know or to be aware of. Whether you need to ask people if they know something or you want to express what you know and what you don't, here's a verb for you, sapere. Now this verb can be translated with to know in the sense of to be aware of something, such as knowing a fact, an event, or a piece of information. Sapere can be found in common phrases such as
Lo so.
I know and
Non lo so.
I don't know, but its use is much wider. Sapere also has the following meanings: to think or to reckon in the phrase,
Mi sa di. Che. Mi sa che pioverà.
I think it's going to rain. Describing taste.
Questa zuppa sa di aglio.
This soup tastes like garlic. Ability.
Sai nuotare?
Can you swim? In this case, it's followed by a verb in the infinitive form, like the other modal verbs. The conjugation of the verb sapere is irregular. Here it is in the present tense.
Io so. Tu sai. Lui, lei sa. Noi sappiamo. Voi sapete. Loro sanno.
Here are some examples.
Sai che ore sono?
Do you know what time it is?
Abbiamo saputo che ti sei sposato.
We found out you got married.
Attenzione, in the passato prossimo, meaning the past tense, the verb has a slightly different meaning. It means to find out something. Sapere isn't the only verb Italians use to express their knowledge. Keep watching to find out how they use the other verb to know. Number 16, conoscere, to know or be acquainted with. If sapere is used in the sense of to be aware of something, conoscere, on the other hand, is to be acquainted with someone or something, such as a topic, a person, a place, or a subject. Its conjugation is regular. Here it is in the present tense.
Io conosco. Tu conosci. Lui, lei conosce. Noi conosciamo. Voi conoscete. Loro conoscono.
Here are some examples.
Conosci Giuseppe?
Do you know Giuseppe?
Ho conosciuto mio marito ad una festa.
I met my husband at a party.
Attenzione, just like sapere in the passato prossimo, the past tense, the meaning of conoscere changes and it means to get to know someone for the first time. Number 17, vedere, to see. The verb vedere is a sensorial verb that will allow you to express what you see around you. Here is its conjugation in the present tense, which is regular.
Io vedo. Tu vedi. Lui, lei vede. Noi vediamo. Voi vedete. Loro vedono.
Here are some examples.
Non ti vedo. Dove sei?
I don't see you. Where are you?
Avete visto il tramonto ieri?
Did you see the sunset yesterday?
18, mettere, to put. The next commonly used verb in Italian is mettere, which can be easily translated with to put or to place something somewhere. Like many other verbs, though, it can have different meanings, such as
To put on.
Mi metto le scarpe e poi esco.
I'll put my shoes on and then go out. To cause or bring something about.
Questo film mette paura.
This movie is scary. Literally, this film puts the fear in you.
mettere has a regular conjugation. Here it is in the present tense.
Io metto. Tu metti. Lui, lei mette. Noi mettiamo. Voi mettete. Loro mettono.
Here are some examples.
La tua voce mette tranquillità.
Your voice is calming.
Ho messo la torta in forno.
I put the cake in the oven.
Italian IRE verbs. Last but not least, here's a list of common and useful verbs in Italian that end in IRE. Number 19, uscire, to exit or to go out.
Usciamo a bere qualcosa.
Let's go out for drinks. The verb uscire means both physically to leave a room, and this is often used with the preposition da. It also means going out or hanging out with someone. Watch out for the conjugation though, it's irregular. Here it is in the present tense.
Io esco. Tu esci. Lui, lei esce. Noi usciamo. Voi uscite. Loro escono.
Here are some examples.
Esci con noi stasera?
Are you going out with us tonight?
Siamo usciti dalla classe esausti.
We left the class exhausted.
Number 20, dire, to say or to tell. The Italian verb dire means to say and to tell, and in the second case, it's often used in combination with pronouns. For example,
Ti dico un segreto.
I'll tell you a secret. The conjugation of dire is irregular. Here it is in the present tense.
Io dico. Tu dici. Lui, lei dice. Noi diciamo. Voi dite. Loro dicono.
Here are some examples.
Che dici?
What are you saying?
Le ho detto che non posso andare alla festa.
I told her I can't go to the party.
Number 21, capire, to understand. If you're at the beginning of your journey in learning Italian and want to tell others that you can't understand them very well, or that, on the other hand, everything they say is surprisingly clear, you'll need to use the verb capire. This verb is used to form standard phrases such as
Non capisco.
I don't understand. Or,
Ho capito.
I understood.
Here is the conjugation in the present tense.
Io capisco. Tu capisci. Lui, lei capisce. Noi capiamo. Voi capite. Loro capiscono.
Here are some examples.
Puoi parlare più piano? Non capisco.
Could you speak more slowly? I don't understand.
Abbiamo capito tutto.
We understood everything.
Number 22, sentire, to hear, feel, smell or taste. The next powerful and versatile Italian verb fits in any situation where you want to express something that you experience through your senses. Sentire is most commonly used as to hear. For example,
Sento un rumore.
I hear a noise, but it also means to feel. For example,
Sento freddo.
I feel cold. To smell, for example,
Sento profumo di cocco.
I smell coconut. Or to taste.
Senti che buono.
Taste it, it's good.
with sentire you can also form a super common phrase that means goodbye. That is, ci sentiamo, talk to you soon, which is informal. Its conjugation in the present tense goes like this.
Io sento. Tu senti. Lui, lei sente. Noi sentiamo. Voi sentite. Loro sentono.
Here are some examples.
Sento profumo di basilico.
I smell basil.
Hai sentito quel suono?
Did you hear that sound?
Number 23, venire, to come. One of the first questions you'll probably be asked when you meet someone for the first time is,
Da dove vieni?
where do you come from? Italians use venire not only to talk about where they come from, but also to express where they're going. When they're going with someone, they'll say,
Vengo al cinema con voi.
I'm going to the cinema with you. Unlike the verb andare, venire indicates approaching a place, not moving away from it. Its conjugation is irregular. Here it is in the present tense.
Io vengo. Tu vieni. Lui, lei viene. Noi veniamo. Voi venite. Loro vengono.
Here are some examples.
Charlotte viene da Parigi.
Charlotte comes from Paris.
I miei amici non sono venuti a cena ieri sera.
My friends didn't come to dinner last night.
Number 24, finire, to end or to finish. What better way to conclude this video of common Italian verbs than with the verb finire? Much like English, in Italian we use this verb to express that something is over or we're done with something. Here is its conjugation in the present tense.
Io finisco. Tu finisci. Lui, lei finisce. Noi finiamo. Voi finite. Loro finiscono.
Here are some examples.
Il film finisce tra circa un'ora.
The film ends in about an hour.
Avete finito i compiti?
Have you finished your homework?
Allora, eccoci qua. So there we have it, the 24 most common Italian verbs. By learning these gradually and incorporating them into your vocabulary, you'll be off to a flying start in learning Italian. How many of these verbs did you know? Let me know in the comments. Are you learning Italian? Make sure you download my free guide, 7 Mistakes in Italian and How to Avoid Them. Just click on the link in the description below and I'll send you my free guide. But if you really want to learn Italian, maybe you've got a trip coming up where you want to communicate with your Italian partner or relatives in Italian. Now you can learn Italian with my unique 80-20 method. Registrations are now open to join Intrepid Italian, my series of online self-paced video courses for beginners, advanced beginners and intermediate students who want to take the next step with an effective and strategic approach to learning Italian. As your guide, I walk you through each lesson, step by step, using my 80-20 method. My approach is different from traditional methods because I teach you the most important 20% of the language right from the beginning so you can start to speak straight away. Intrepid Italian includes everything you need to go from an absolute beginner to a confident intermediate speaker. Available in 3 levels, each course is perfect if you value learning at your own pace. Materials include video lessons, audio exercises, downloadable worksheets and bonus guides, plus a private support community and lifetime access, all designed to streamline your learning whilst having fun. It even comes with my famous Celebrate with the Spritz guarantee. After 30 days of using Intrepid Italian, if you don't want to celebrate your newfound Italian skills with an Aperol Spritz, you don't have to pay a penny. Cheers to that! For more details, click on the link in the description below this video. Ci vediamo lì, see you there. In the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and turn on those notifications so you get an alert when I post more videos like this one. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy language learning.